Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here on this Friday morning. Got a big show lined up. A special guest made a long drive this morning to come on the show. We're glad to have him. But before we get to him, let's take a look at our weather, brought to us by our Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard, and his hard-working crew, taking care of our everyday comfort needs. Pretty comfortable right now. It's going to be up to 60 today, but tonight, here on the coast, dropping down to 29. You know, it's going to be cold tomorrow night. It's going to be cold. I have a dove shoot I'm going on tomorrow, hopefully, so I'm going to wrap up. But looking forward to this weekend. I know y'all have a lot of good things going on, too. High today, like I say, the 60 now is going to be comfortable, but tomorrow won't be quite as high. So just check your weather and dress in layers tomorrow. River readings brought to us by Panama City Coca-Cola. Good folks down there. Looking at Apalachicola at Bluntstown, reading a 13.5. It's sort of leveling out now for the weekend, but it's still going to be high water on a big river. The Choctawhatchee at Caryville, 7.2. Got a nice steady drop to it. Pretty nice on the Choctawhatchee. It'll still be a little bit high. I got a text from Billy Grantham the other day to tell everybody this weekend to be watching out for all kind of limbs and everything in the water. He's seeing that a lot up there on the upper end of the Apalachicola River up there around Sneeds and Chattahoochee. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Great tides for the weekend. Check this out. Low tide at 3:29 this morning, coming in about 4:23. Now the other problem on that though, the wind be coming out of northwest about 17, blowing in that cold air. So just see what's going on, balance it out. Let's take a break, come back with our special guest. Okay, welcome back and welcome to our guest this morning. Coach Ernie Martin drove over from Crestview to be on Panhandle Outdoors. We're just tickled to have him. We're trying to figure out how many times y'all remember him. He's been on 3 or 4 times, and you've even been on Studio B. Drove up one day in a monsoon and came over. So glad to have you, Ernie.
Yes, sir. From the garage back to the studio, and it's been a blessing to be able to come down and share with you guys. I can't thank you enough for what you guys do for the outdoor ed classes in our whole state of Florida, and what you do for Bay County, and it even helps us in Okaloosa County being able to get the word out about how important it is to our students to understand about the outdoors and some of the history and cultural effects that our outdoors have brought to us that are, like I said, part of our history.
Well done, well said. You practiced that on the way over, but that's coming from the heart. I've known him a long time. We met way back in the 90s, back with coaching and our track meets and all, and started talking. We had this common denominator, the outdoors.
Yes, sir.
We've been instant friends since then, and what a tremendous job. This is, look at the shirt, it says Crestview CHS Outdoor Education shirt. That's cool right there. You got to use the other hand.
Backwards.
It's TV. So it just tickled every time I saw them and talked to them about what's going on. They've done a tremendous job. Started out with 1 class at Crestview High School. How many do you have now?
We're up to 3 classes per semester. So we have about 160 kids we run through each semester in our program. The first semester is Outdoor Education 1, second semester is Outdoor Ed 2, 2 totally separate classes, so the kids can get their credits in the physical education department, and it helps them get ready to graduate through their electives process, and teaches them quite a bit about being outside.
A good bit about it. I know one of the top things we all do is that boater safety, teaching them about boating and all, and they take the state test, and tell us about that. How'd that go?
We use the Safe Boating Certification exam as an exit exam for the first semester test. We tested all 3 classes, had a good turnout as far as people who have completed it and certified. That exam has 2 parts. There's a state part and a federal part. And once they complete it, they have to score in the 80th percentile to receive their certificate. And just yesterday, we had students coming into class and getting passes from their English teacher to come see me and says, "Coach, I got the card," because I told them, I said, the universal sign for me in the hallway after Christmas is this, because that tells me, "Coach, I got it."
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're average, I think right now, if I'll have to look at the numbers again, but since we started in 2000 with this program, we are about 2,400 students from Crestview High Outdoor Eds program that have successfully passed the safe boating certification and have their cards.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Ernie, I remember, I'm going to flash back real quick talking about getting the cards because they're so proud of us. You know, it's like a driver's license.
Yes, sir.
All, you know. And what the state at that time would send me the whole package. I think they send it. You get a whole package. They used to do that. Remember?
Yes, sir. I used to get them that way.
So I would so I put them on the desk, and when class started, I took my phone out and I found the song, the graduation song,
right.
Pomp and Circumstance.
Yeah.
And then so I stood up and had them lined up just like graduation. I shook their hand and put my arm around them, and it was hilarious. They were so proud of it. So that is special though, because they're learning lifelong safety skills.
Exactly, and like, I talked to Principal Hayden, our principal at Crestview High School, and Thomas Harvell, my administrator there, and I said, listen, if we save one life at Crestview High School on the water, then 25 years of this, it will all be worth it.
That's right.
And when you look at the statistics, the saddest part of the statistics in Okaloosa County is most of the time we are number one, not only in the state, but in the nation for boating fatalities. We have, they happen every year. And we make that a big emphasis when we start this class. And we have actual people who have been in boating accidents that had fatalities actually come in and share their experiences. One being my nephew and his son in a horrific boating crash in Bainbridge a couple of years ago that claimed the life of the other driver.
Ooh.
So we have, living testimonies of how important it is for them to understand how to have fun on the water, but how to be safe as well.
Wow, I know that nothing like that firsthand experience and all, and sharing those stories. So we're proud of y'all for doing that. All the other outdoor ed classes are doing that too throughout the Panhandle. So that's something very important. And if your kids don't take outdoor ed, they can still need to take that class. They can sort of do it online, but it's a lot better taking showing. I know I'd always talk about accidents. I'd have a file of all the accidents happened here, the newspaper stories, and we would actually reconstruct how it happened on the board and how it could have been prevented. And it's really eye-opening. Okay, we're going to take a break. We're going to be right back with Coach Ernie Martin from Crestview. Okay, welcome back. Ernie drove over this morning from Crestview, talking about Crestview High School. It's one of that one town, one school, and sort of that's a blessing in a big way. And,
yes, sir.
But you were telling me, and we can sympathize with them, how it's growing over there, big time.
Amazing growth, just in the city of Crestview. We're adding on-ramps to Interstate 10. We've had bypasses. We're doing the infrastructure's having to grow and change. Townhomes and apartments. Yeah. It's amazing how fast it's growing up there, and the school's growing with it. And we've had to add 8 more classrooms and a second gym to our campus just to help maintain the amount of students and staff we have. So
we'll talk about that. Hopefully we can get it planned all, and so we don't have to lose too much of our woods and waters. So
yes, sir.
Keep them.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we got some pictures. Tell us, how's the outdoor classes coming?
We're wide open. I mean, we have 3 classes each day, and usually every year in the fall, because our thread through everything is safety. We start the fall out with hurricane prevention and preparedness, and we talk about every hurricane that's come through here. We show pictures from Michael and Ivan and Opal and just all of them, and we talk about getting prepared and what you got to do in our area as compared to, say, Mosley High School or some of the others. And we thread that through to boat safety, and then we talk about everything from the Florida Game and Fish to charter boat captains to learning how to build lures. I have some students that have some of the most amazing skills. I've had students actually build the fishing lure as a project in class, and before they ever leave school, they sell 2 or 3 more to some of the teachers and kids there. That's cool. So it's been a really neat experience.
That's cool. And I saw not too long ago, some of them girls had little ones for earrings too, so get them doing that. We brought some pictures and all. Your bass fishing team. I know you do a great job with the bass fishing team. So here's our first picture here. So
I have to go ahead and put this out there right now. This young bass angler is Ryder Schilling. Ryder Schilling is on the Emerald Coast Youth Bassmasters, formerly known as Crestview High Bassmasters. Ryder Schilling lives in Bay County, and he fishes for us. He is an excellent bass fisherman. He'll have an opportunity to fish at the next level. He works at it. As you can tell, he can catch them.
That's a fine bass right there. All right.
This is Kylie and Matthew. They're one of the teams there. They're fishing. Matthew, I think they're both seniors this year, and they're fishing the entire circuit, from what I understand.
All right.
This is Chase and Reed. They're a team this year. They doing real well. They feel like they have a chance coming up next month down at Palatka to have an opportunity to finish in the top 5. And when you say that, you're top 5, there's 180 to 200 teams that fish these tournaments.
And it's a strong competition.
Big competition.
Big competition.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a good
This
picture.
is Reese Killian on the left, Jace Green on the right. They're 2 of our teams. Reese is getting touted to be fishing at the next level. He's got 1 more year. He's a junior, and Jace is too. Both of them are football players, played on the football team, and they have fished a lot of tournaments. And Reese has really got his portfolio set up really nice to be able to go to the next level at the end of next year.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
There's another one with looks like Ryder out there in a lake that we will not name, but I can tell you this, folks, that's not Deer Point.
It's not Deer Point Lake. I guarantee it's not Deer Point Lake. And it's also a cold morning. He's
You
wrapped
ain't
up.
kidding.
Oh, cool. Now this is special right here.
Took this yesterday morning. This is one of our students that an outdoor ed program, first year student, and passed her Florida safe boating certificate and has it in her card. And I told her if her and her parents wanted to, I'd make sure they made the show today. So
yes.
Abigail, again, thank you so much for your hard work and efforts, as well as the other students in class who certified. And just a smile on her face does me good.
She's happy, and she's going to be very confident when she gets back on the water, too.
Yes, sir.
So, all right, Jeff, I think that's all of them there. Okay, so now once you got the bass team started, it sort of spread out. You got them coming from all over the place.
Yes, sir. You know, and for as many people that talk bad about the pandemic and having to deal with that, for our program, it was really a blessing. You know, it took me 9 years of hearing the word no until finally Superintendent Chambers and Board Member Tim Bryant, I guess, just finally got tired of saying no and said, okay, Coach, go for it. And we started running as Crestview High Bassmasters, and everybody was at the high school. Well, pandemic, we had to change it to be able to fish. They were still going to run tournaments. They had protocols set in place. There wasn't another student around anybody. The way they set it up, did a great job. And we had to open it up. We had to get out of the high school so that we could compete. And we created Emerald Coast Youth Bassmasters. Yeah. And when that happened, word got out through social media that we were having this, and now we have high school students who are participating in our club from Bay County to Escambia County, Florida. Mm-hmm. They have found a way to, enjoy the tournament competition and to bass fish and to maybe get a chance at going on and continuing their education at a higher university or something. Yeah. And that was one of the selling points is not everybody can throw a 90-mile-an-hour fastball or kick a 40-yard field goal, but you put a rod and reel in their hand and they become even with everybody on the field. And it's been really a blessing to watch these kids receive their credentials. And as of the date, in the last 4 years, we have had state champions come from Emerald Coast Youth Bassmasters.
That's awesome. I'm so proud of the effort he put forward. He said something a while ago about he just kept trying. You can't take no for an answer when you know you're doing the right thing. And he knew he was doing the right thing, getting these kids together for a bass team and getting an outdoor class together. So it can be done all over. But what it takes is a dedicated person who has a passion for young people and for the outdoors, and that's what we need in all of our school system. All the teachers don't have to be like that, but good to have on every faculty to have a couple of them like that. And that's what I've talked. I know Jackson County, some of those folks are trying to put something like this together.
Well, listen, if anybody's out there and they need help with it, it's Coach Ernie Martin, Crestview High School. You can get a hold of Mr. Winston here. He can get you information to get in contact with me. I'll be more than happy to come by or talk or whatever we need to do to help you get your program started. As long as you have that one thing, that passion for the outdoors and the passion to keep your students safe when they're outside and on the water, we can make this go. And right. It is so needed. And I don't have the most perfect place for outdoor ed, but I would love to be like Navarre High School. They're on block schedule, and 3 times a week in the early and late part of the year, they load up on the bus and go fish on the pier during class. That's just awesome. I wish I could do that. But
Field trip.
South Walton does the same thing at their high school, and I thought, well, that's just amazing.
Well, we're doing that Moser too. We have that. We got to get y'all a bus.
Yes, sir. We got a field trip.
How long did it take y'all to get to the pier? About 30, 40 minutes?
From to Okaloosa Island Pier, it'd probably take us about 35, 40 minutes.
Okay, we can do that. Okay, so we got to listen. We got to talk about fishing in the next segment. We've got so much to talk about. But this is Friday, so we're going to do our drawings from Tarpon Dock Seafood, free seafood, $20 worth of seafood or either red snapper. So I'm going to let Coach Ernie Martin draw one name out of here. This will be for the $20.
Now, are they going to get mad if I draw my name? Nancy Barker from Westville.
Westville.
Yes, sir.
All right, Nancy.
Another one?
Big red snapper. There'll be a big red snapper here.
Let's see right here. We got Pat Bing, Southport.
All right. So I'll be eating some seafood this weekend. We're going to take a break and come back with our famous Friday fishing forecast. Okay, welcome back, and welcome to Famous Friday Fishing Forecast. Now, Ernie's going to help me on this because he has all kinds of fishing knowledge. So remember, this segment is brought to us now each Friday by Jessica Ling Insurance and Financial Group up there in Lynn Haven, and Matt Andrews Hammer Down Roofing. So we appreciate those sponsors there. I know a lot of those folks watch the show. We appreciate it. All right, listen. Sir. We bass fishing now. First of all, let's go. You're such a good bass fisherman. They've asked you, these sponsors. You sort of getting sponsored a little bit. So tell us about that. Yes,
sir. I've been fortunate to be able to be sponsored. I've got several local sponsors. Tiffany Woodham, State Farm Insurance. She's right there with me anytime we need to go anywhere and go to a tournament. I'll go and represent her. Hometown Garage Doors is another William Jacob and his crew. Ronnie's Car Wash, Ronnie Douglas, he and I went to college together, and he's all about being a part of this and all the other groups I'm with. And
Matrix, you got.
And now, a couple of the companies that I sponsor, one of them is Matrix Shad. I'm on their pro staff with out of Slidell, Louisiana, and Chad Champagne and them have found a niche, and they are running with it. They have some of the best fresh, brackish, saltwater fishing lures on the market. Their paddle tail swim baits are amazing. Their topwater lures are amazing. Their jerk baits. You can catch every species of fish that swims in brackish water will run their face across one of these baits. I guarantee it.
Okay, we got a picture of it. Also put a picture of Matrix Shad.
I told him I wanted this one to be posted, and there's a reason for it. This is the Matrix X Shad. Last summer, I was able to get them down in the big bait and tackle store in Port St. Joe, Blue Water.
Our sponsor.
I was down there and talking to them, and I said, listen, as much clear water as you've got, you know that the trout and the redfish are going to eat crabs, shrimp, finger mullet, croakers, glass minnows. Why not throw something that looks just like it? That one that you saw a picture of is called a croaker. And just in my trips fishing this year, it's dealt the damage to about 150 speckled trout, redfish, bass, you name it, white trout. Yeah. There's not many things that won't eat that bait. Yeah.
And what's that? What color jig head do you put in?
A lot of that, the jig head color is not as important to me as the weight. Like right now, yesterday in Crestview, you're talking about cold. It stayed below freezing until after 1 p.m. Yeah. And when that water temperature gets in the 50s, those trout are going to pile up in those holes.
Yep.
And I'll probably use a 3/8 jig head, one of those GoldenEye jigs that he makes, and I'll just slow work it because you can see them on the bottom machines, and we'll catch our fish that way.
Ernie, let's talk about this weekend. We always like to tell our people where to go, but I know you fish over in the western end of the Panhandle.
Yes, sir.
We're in the middle of the Panhandle. So just in general, if you're going to bass fish this weekend, what would you be looking for?
It's kind of funny you said that because the Hub City Bassmasters Club that I'm affiliated with in Crestview had a tournament set up for this weekend, but at time of launch before daylight, it was going to be 22 degrees with a north wind about 12. So we're going to opt for the 27th.
Okay.
We changed the whole date. But if you're going, this time of year, moving water. My father-in-law, Donald Ham, that I fished with for over 30 years in the Pascagoula River, some of the biggest fish we caught, bass mainly, were this time of year. From here to middle of February, down in the marsh, that man would throw a snaggly Sally till the blade fell off. And he taught me a lot about how to fish in the bottom of the rivers. And it works. You can find them in those holes. I had a guy fish a tournament just the other day. One of them cold days, got in the marsh, found him a hole that was probably about as big as a pickup truck, but it had 9 foot of water in it. 6 casts on a square bill crankbait, and he had 17 pounds of bass in the live well.
Wow. And
so if you can find the moving water and you get it in front of their face, they're going to eat. They're going to be hungry.
And look at all of our bay system. We talk about it all the way down to Carabel, to Apalachicola Bay, right here at St. Andrew Bay. We have some moving water coming out of these creeks over there in Shockatahatchee Bay. All that water coming down, so the water's going to be moving.
As long as it's moving, I'm going to throw some kind of moving bait. If it's moving, I got a little wind on it, there's going to be something with a blade getting twitched around there, because I promise you they will eat crankbaits, spinnerbaits, swim baits. That's probably going to be the first 3 things that come out of my boat. Okay, let's see, jump into the shallow water here. Speckled trout. If you're going to fish with speckled trout this weekend, what would you be throwing? Some of these? Oh, yes. Right, this is going to be tied on probably 3 different colors. And 3 different jig heads, depending on where they're at. The redfish, you know, they're not always going to be in the deep water. If they're still feeding that low tide, I can find them. I can sight fish them this time of year. We got several guys up there that'll do it. They'll lay their bellies right in the bottom of that mud and root around in 2 to 3 foot of water. And if you can get on a calm bank with some clear water, you can throw one of these in front of them, and you better have it tied on to something good. I'm just telling you, because a lot of them big boys will hammer it. So I would do that. And then if I wanted something to eat, I would probably tie one of these on and go into a hole and mark the fish and get ready to catch white trout and probably catfish. That'd probably be the 2 things. Was that not a great report? Okay, famous Friday fishing report with Coach Ernie Martin. Great job, Ernie. I really enjoyed having you on. We got to get you a show over there called Panhandle Outdoors West. I like over it. There, Panhandle West Side. Okaloosa and Escambia County. But yes, sir. It was great. Sharing the knowledge with us. We appreciate all you're doing for the young people, the outdoor education classes. Well, I appreciate it. We really do. Folks, we got to get out of here. We appreciate your viewership and all the things you share with us. You have a great weekend. Do something good today for your fellow man. Have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.